We're going to get started in just a minute, but if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that would be amazing. Also, major shout out to Saran Wrap for resubscribing on Twitch, saying like these streams. So, you know, if Saran Wrap says it, we got to listen. Also, major shout out to Lonely Mage for saying, hey, what's up, Dak? I appreciate you. I like the Bugs Bunny reference, but don't give Bushido any ideas. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. All right, everyone, welcome to the reaction for One Piece chapter 1097, which is insane to say because we're three chapters away from 1100, which I can't even believe that. You know, I remember watching everyone's reaction for chapter 1000, 1044, etc. Even, see, what was it, like 1059, I think was the last one I didn't react to, or something like that, or 1061, I can't remember. So it's crazy that I'm here for like the first milestone almost, like century milestone, I guess. So I'm super pumped. It's time's flying. So couple announcements real quick. A lot of you guys probably heard already that my dog did have surgery today. Cliff is all good. He's laying right behind me while he's standing up. He's still loopy. He doesn't know where he's at. But I did want to have him here in the room. I can't really show him because I'm at my standing desk and he is like under the desk. I don't know what he's doing. But he's all good, so no worries about him. But that is why the stream's a little late, because I had to go pick him up. So shout out to Cliff, he's all good. Another thing, last stream and in a couple comment responses over the last week, I mentioned how I was going to have a Robin video last weekend. Well, that didn't really end up working the way I wanted to, but it will be out this weekend. It's already recorded and partially edited. I have the thumbnail. It's going to be out this weekend. But I'm going to try having one video every weekend in November. I have them planned. They're partially scripted already. I know what they are. The thumbnails are coming, so that's the plan. One per week in November. That's my goal. So Robin this weekend, we got a Urouge and an L video coming, and I don't want to spoil the other ones, but thank you all for your words of support for Cliff also, by the way, either in the Discord or on the comments and everything. I appreciate it. I feel like everyone connects whenever it's a pet issue, you know what I mean? Got to take care of them. They're basically my kids, you know what I mean? So appreciate it. Shout out to all the goats that were here early. My chat isn't really loading normally. It's like late. Like I got like a lot of the later. Oh, there we go. I pulled it up. Vex, I appreciate you. You celebrated being a member for 5 months at the very beginning, right whenever I made this thing, like 5 hours ago or whatever this was. Subscribe to Redacted and like the stream. Vex, I appreciate you. Sexy Vexy getting all the good cards in the One Piece TCG streams because that's the good karma. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely go subscribe to Redacted if you haven't already. There should be a link pinned in the chat. That's where you're going to get the One Piece chapter reviews that I drop every week. And I'm really enjoying doing those. Those are definitely going to keep coming. So So yeah, definitely. And then like earlier, I shouted out Lonely Mage. I just want to also mention, I did not notice that was 11 months. That's crazy. We're almost at a year. Major shout out to you for all your support. Also, Lonely Mage now does his own chapter reactions, as well as Skyrim streams, other kind of gaming streams. And I gotta admit, it's like more organized than me, and he just started, so I would definitely go check out Lonely Mage's streams. Great supporter in the community for all sorts of channels too, so he's definitely going to keep growing, so make sure you check him out. Lawsauce McGee, my guy, celebrating being a member for 9 months, which is also crazy. Said, gang, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. We were just talking about my new computer / webcam that I'm getting soon. We're upgrading some more stuff here soon, so I appreciate you. And then my guy Eden's joining the Afro Gang. I appreciate you, bro. Right when tip-off started for the Cavs and Knicks game, round 2, because we just played last night, now we're playing them again. The Cavs are decimated. The Cavs are the equivalent of the Kid Pirates right now in terms of how decimated they are from injury. Okay, like, you know what I mean? Because the Kid Pirates are down bad. Cavs are very similar. Everyone's hurt. But I appreciate you, Edens. That's my guy. Appreciate you, man. Let's see, to make sure I didn't miss anything else. I feel like I did, though. But maybe not. I think we're good. All right, appreciate that. My fantasy team down bad from injuries. That's why I stopped playing fantasy, man. I can't do it. Oh, Cliff, you gotta go over here, bud. No, you gotta go over here. It's okay. He just, like, bumped right in. He has, like, the cone of shame on, and I don't think he can see very well, so he just bumped right into me, not really knowing. Hey, you gotta move, bud. It's okay. Good boy. Go ahead. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. All right, there he is. So I have not been spoiled on this chapter whatsoever, which for me is a little weird because I usually get something. Like, I'm not spoiled, but I'm like, oh yeah, we're continuing this plot line, this chapter. Oh, this person shows up, so that means we're going back to this flashback. I don't know anything other than the chapter title. Now, I will say that didn't stop people from trying to spoil. Maybe not trying to spoil. That's like little. It's like that indicates like malintent. But there were people who tagged me with spoilers included, and please don't do that, guys. Pretty please. I did not get spoiled. I have my own little barriers to guard from it, but please don't try to do that. Not that I think you guys are on purpose, but Lonely Mage, my guy, gifting 5 memberships before we even get started. I appreciate you. Welcome Juan Martinez, Brandon King, Will of Dreams, Trevor R, and Blue Vert at Foret de Pin. I probably butchered that. That is like French that type of French I can't pronounce, but I appreciate you. Welcome everyone. Thank you, Lonely Mage, as always. That is awesome. One of the goats of the community. I appreciate you. Vargan, you said the spoiler defense is held against an onslaught of pings. Truthfully. So I know some mods deleted some stuff. I also have like certain channels where like even within the Discord, like certain little channels I make so there's no notifications from there no matter what. So even if you ping me, I'll see the notification, but it doesn't push it. I gotta go check it. So, it worked out. The defense is held. The levies held this time. So that works. Shout out to the 100+ people here. I appreciate you guys. We are gonna get started on the chapter in just a minute. Just catching up with the chat here for a second. Did I see Majkon? Is that the Majkon? Hey, I appreciate you, bro. We're going to be talking, if that is the real one, I know, some people try to impersonate, you know what I'm saying, but I'm sure it's you. We're going to be talking after this, my man, that for sure, about getting something done. I appreciate you for sliding in. That's awesome. Mr. Bushido with the €2 super chat. I appreciate you. Weird cover page this time. You know what? Why don't we use that as a good segue to get into the actual chapter? Usual Bushido W. Bushido's always dropping W's until we get on the topic of Carrot or Drake or who was it? Wow, I'm blanking. You just had another one. It doesn't matter. But you know what I'm talking about. My guy Trevor's also here. I appreciate you, Trevor, for sliding in. Thank you. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Let's just get right into it. I gotta pull it up on my computer. There it is. Does that look okay? It's a little off center. I'm going to fix that because that is triggering my OCD pretty bad. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be enough to calm it down. There we go. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, let's get into it. Okay, 12 minutes. Got to mark that down for later so I don't have to look it up. All right. One Piece chapter 1097 Guinea or Ginny. I still want to know how that's pronounced, but cover request: Kuma catching salmon in a river, and I feel like I love seeing Kuma like at this middle age, like his adolescent age. I like that. But he's trying to catch him. Oh, and this is definitely a play on the like the typical like bear catching salmon out of the river thing, right? Because he's a bear. Oh, I love that. I didn't even catch that at first, but that's 100% what it is. I like that. And this is probably Guinea or Ginny over here, and she's yelling because he doesn't have the glove on. I love that. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. Bushido, why'd you call this weird? I'm just curious. I'm curious why this one's weird. I like this one a lot. Like, a lot. Also, I guess one thing, and maybe it's talked about this chapter because it talks about Guinea, so maybe that's revealed, but I know a lot of people talked about Kuma potentially having a zone because of the bear ears, because, like, we saw him before, we've seen him here and there, but he has them here, but he didn't have them when he was a kid. So I feel like it's his hair. Like, he's just styling his hair to have bear ears. I feel like that's got to be it, because if he didn't have them right when he ate the fruit, then, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how else it would work, but just wanted to mention that. Anyways, all right, we're on to the rest of the chapter. See, page 1. Here we go. 8 years after the God Valley incident. 30 years ago. Please help me, Kumachi. I've been coming here since your pa was around. Okay. It came as a nasty shock when you all went and disappeared on us. So we're in the Sorbet Kingdom, but I've been coming here since your pa was around. So is his dad from here? So did he go back to his hometown? Is that what this is saying? We're going to keep reading, though. But it's comforting to know you grew into such a sweet boy. Your parents did a great job. I'm sure they're so proud of you becoming a bona fide clergyman. Wow. I like the immediate tie back to the parents type of thing, because I don't know, it's just making everything deeper. Pastor Bartholomew Kuma, 17 years old. Are we going to see how he meets Dragon? Is that what this whole thing is? There are hardly any youngins left in this country these days. It's no wonder we're getting poorer and poorer. Ah, what a relief. I feel so much better. Bless you. So he's still pushing the pain out of people. So that is amazing. 'Cause like, for him to be a clergyman, where, like, you know, historically, like, that's where, you know, sick and needy people go to, you know, churches to get help and stuff like that. And so for him to be able to actually give help to these poor people who wouldn't be able to get it otherwise, like, he actually physically does it. That's just really cool. I like that. Otis cooking. Me next. My hips are killing me. Hey, Kuma, my back, man. I need a little bit of work. Bushido, I saw your super chat, €2. It's weird as it's a cover page that ties to chapter. Yeah, hey. And it's not a canon one. That's what I thought, because it was a cover request. I thought it was going to be a canon one because it has Kuma. So that's a good point. That's a really good point, Bushido. All right, we can't thank you enough. God bless your miracle hands. Can't you do this on weekdays too? Fat chance. Sundays only. Whoa, Kuma. Whoa. I like that. Whoa, whoa. It's also cool how, like, they said your miracle hands, it ties back to the hands of liberation thing. Like, they're liberating by freeing people, I guess, from different islands. But I guess you could say they're also, you know, they're pushing pain away, so they're liberating in that. Like, they're bringing smiles to people's faces, but in a different way. Which is maybe its own cool little storyline. All right, I'm going to go a little bit faster, though. I feel like I'm taking forever. Where do you freeloading old bags get off asking for even more help? So that's her saying. Because I looked at Kuma's shoes and thought that was him. So that's Guinea. Okay. Haha, we've gotten the attention of Little Miss Cheapskate. Quit flapping your gums. This isn't a nursing home. I tell you to wash your mouth out if it weren't such a cutie pie. If you weren't such a cutie pie. I heard there's no end to the number of suitors that come knocking on her door. Okay. Guinea, 21 years old. Don't change the subject. I guess real quick, I'm just going to think. So Bonnie's like 24 or something, right? Or 23, somewhere in that range, 21. So she would not have been born yet if this really is her mom, or, you know, if there's no scientific stuff. Like, maybe we'll figure it out in this chapter. Don't change the subject. None of them have a chance with Kumachi here. Just looking into that calm face of his is enough to comfort anyone. You're too kind. You're the one who's too kind. I love it. Kuma's just helping too many people, man. To tell the truth, we'd love to donate and support our Kumachi. We've all been struggling just to meet the celestial tribute recently. I'm sure you've heard about our new king, right? Interesting. Okay. They say King Bikori is a cold-hearted monster. He's hell-bent on paying the tribute, and he doesn't care about whether us old farts are too sick to contribute. What leader does this guy look like? I feel like I should know. I feel like, or someone who's in One Piece that is alive now. Whatever, we'll talk about this in a minute. But if Connie is the current queen of Sorbet, or they believe that to be the case, well, whatever, we'll talk about that. It might get revealed. If we can't, they'll lock us up. He's the worst. The other day, an acquaintance of mine ended up starving to death in their cell. Can you believe that? That miserly king of ours won't even feed his prisoners. This dude's a douchebag. He's even more of a cheapskate than you, Guinea, yet he's happy to bend over backwards for the celestial dragons. If we don't stay in good health, we're gonna get killed. I can get rid of any pain or mild illnesses you need me to, so please visit every week. Thanks so much, Kumachi. Bro, no. Oda, man. I can't, no way. So he takes the pain bubbles after they leave. And is that why is that the real reason that Guinea or Ginny is saying only on Sundays? Because he can only do this once a week because he has to take the pain? Oh, man. Man. Wow. That hits, man. That hits so hard. It puts Thriller Bark in such new context also, because Kuma knew how bad the pain was that he was giving Zoro, right? Like, maybe he didn't know Luffy's exactly, but I'm sure after doing this a million times, he probably had a good grasp of like what was actually happening to Zoro. Man, this puts. I need Kuma to show up to Egghead like right now, man. Kuma, I might have to do a whole Kuma video once Egghead's over, man. That's insane. I mean, just look at the pain he's in. Like, Oda's just the way he drew it. Wow. Oda is such a savage in the flashbacks. It pains me to see this because, like, Oda sets up the backdrop of him being so nice, and then this. So we see, I mean, Oda's probably just, adding some flair, but we even see, like, lightning come off it, like, the pain's, like, that serious. Like, I don't know if it's hockey. Not actually hockey, but, he's selling the pain here big time with the whole castle shaking here. And then Kuma's just cooked. Guinea's just sad about it, bro. I love Kuma, man. I love Kuma. Tosmorn, I saw your super chat. $10. I appreciate you, Tosmorn D Goat. Kuma has always been one of my favorite characters. This chap just put him like top 5. This is everything and more that I wanted out of the Kuma flashback. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I remember chapter 10. Oh man, 73. I can't remember what it was, but there was a chapter that like teased Kuma's flashback, and people were like, not everyone, but I know some people were saying like, oh, I wanted more, that wasn't enough. Oda, why you doing this? This is why he was saving. He was teasing it. He was like trickle truthing. You know what I'm saying? And it's hitting on all cylinders. This is amazing. They have no idea you're taking on any of their pain, Kumachi, and you keep doing this week after week. So that's definitely why he's only doing it on Sundays, like the real reason. It can't be helped. If someone doesn't shoulder their burdens, that pain and suffering of theirs just won't disappear. It'll be left to fester, returning to haunt them again and again. More than anything, I'm just glad I can do something to help them feel happier. I'm sorry for putting you through this, though. It'll get tougher. A lot of similar words there. So you won't have to worry. That's not the point. Hey, we got a little food as thanks today. Let's eat up. Woohoo, dinner time. And now they're all happy again, bro. It's like, they're like so poor, but you know what I mean? It's like, we've seen this time and time again, like with Tama, like even a little bit of food goes a long way. 25 years ago, when Kuma was 22. Hey, Kumachi, let's get married. Huh? We can't. What the hell's with that reaction? Of course we can. You love me, right? Just admit it, you dope. Wouldn't it make you happy? I'm sure it would, but the thing is, just take me. I'm the one with Buccaneer blood. My wife is normal. Please let her and my son go. I don't want to make you unhappy. Oh my god. Oda, man. This is like the most selfless guy in One Piece. Oh man. Okay. Look at this. It's another article about those freedom fighters, okay? I like this. They finally issued wanted posters for them after they incited riots in several countries. Dragon. He's so cool. He's like a hero. One day, I want to head out to sea and dedicate my life to saving people too. Oh, so we're seeing the true Kuma origin story here with the Revs. Hello, is anyone home? Guinea, our sweet muse, we had a massive haul today. Please help yourself. Thanks so much, Mr. Fishmonger. Ouch. Kuma, idiot. Okay, so I'm curious how this all happened. Then 22 years ago, something major happened. The people you've kidnapped, let them go. Save us, Kumachi. What are you yelling about, you big oaf? Are you trying to pick a fight with the royal army? That's treason, you know. So we're at Castletown, the Kingdom of Sorbet, so probably at the capital of Sorbet at this point, I presume. He's apparently a pastor from some church in the southern province. Hey, pastor, didn't you hear about the new law? We're allowed to do whatever we want to you southerners. Okay. Why is everyone so twisted in One Piece who has, like, a position of power? Like, everyone. As soon as they get a little bit of power, it's immediate, like, authoritarianism. Like, immediately. You're planning on enslaving them? Oh, Kuma got pissed. I won't let this pass. He's a rebel. Wow, I love this. So this is probably why he's the tyrant, right, of Sorbet, I would presume. Major shout out to Terrible TJ, gifted a membership. Audi Chunez or something close to that. Welcome to the Afro Gang. I appreciate you very much, Terrible TJ, as usual. I love how Kuma's. This is such a good character flashback for Kuma. Like, he's just great. My liege, this new policy, the people might find it hard to swallow. It is of no consequence. They'll soon grow accustomed to their new status. Before long, it won't bother them. They'll all come to see the Southerners for the vermin they are. I hate this guy. I absolutely hate this guy. I hate him so much. His nose, his mustache, I hate everything about him. There's not one thing I like about this guy. I hate him. From this day forward, the borders of Sorbet shall stop at the edge of the northern province. The amount of celestial tribute is decided by a country's population, you see, will no longer be weighed down by all the old fossils in the south. We must cut out this cancer so the fittest of this glorious nation can thrive. Yeah, this dude sucks as a leader. Oh man. Kuma's gonna do something, I hope. So they're in jail. Tell me, what made them arrest you too? We raised hell trying to get them to free you, Kumachi, but they gave us a thrashing in the end. So I love it. They're all backing him. It's basically his crew at this point, kind of. Which, like, Bonnie's crew has some of these people, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So, interesting. Okay, now we got a big spread. Okay, a lot of text here. Guinea, this country is on the brink of becoming a cesspool of bigotry and hate. King Bikori is a celestial dragon puppet. This new policy was given to him from on high. If you plan on starting a rebellion, you'll be signing up to fight the world government as well. Whoa, who are these guys? Your Majesty, we must flee. It was no... Oh, wait, so, I mean, it's dragon, but I just love the immediate, like, Oda's like, okay, let's maybe set up the rebellion, and then we're just gonna go right in for it. You know what I mean? Like, in the same page, basically. So we see Dragon and Ivankov, which I love that. As if we would let you escape. This is what... I'm trying to read, it's a little small. As if we would let you escape. This is what you get. You something celestial dragon. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. We're just gonna zoom in. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger so I can read it. You want to be celestial dragon. Great. There we go. You make me sick. The king's been overthrown. His slavery laws are no more. Thank goodness. I hated what this country was becoming. So this is like, before I continue, because I know there's a lot here, I just want to say this is a really cool backdrop to kind of see what the Revolutionary Army really is, like what they've really been doing. Like we're seeing kind of the government get, or like a certain nation's government get influenced by celestial dragons through some way, like they, put a new puppet in for the government, and we get to see the country kind of fall apart, lead into a bad way, and now the Revolutionary Army comes in and kind of saves it. Like it's cool to see the full process a little bit, especially with Kuma. And so here's the narrator cooking for a little while. And so this mysterious band saved the kingdom of Sorbet from the corruption of the world government. Looks like the man you recommended went on quite the rampage. You're gonna love him, Dragon. So Ivankov recommended Kuma to Dragon. That's how this all happened, because of the connections from God Valley. Love it. Kuma, Guinea, I see you've gone and gotten yourselves caught. Lucky for you, I was in the neighborhood. No way, big bro. Is that you, Eva-chan? And the man you're with, isn't he? Kuma, if you're still anything like you used to be, how about coming with us and changing the world? I just gotta say, it's so funny seeing this panel in the same way it's drawn with Ivankov, because what it reminds me of a little bit is with King and Kaido, where King's like, can you change the world? And then Kaido, like very similarly drawn panel, is like, I'm the only one who can. And the reason why that's so funny that like those two look the same is because Eva almost had Kaido's fruit last chapter. So I don't know if Oda did that on purpose, like tying those things together. Because remember, King and like when Kaido said that was Kaido getting King on his crew, and now this is Ivankov getting Kuma on his crew. He's not the captain, but you know what I'm saying. I just like the connection. I think that's something Oda's going for. Anyways, here comes the narrator cooking. The onset of the Great Pirate Era and the tragedy of Ohara spurred these freedom fighters to take up arms against the corrupt regimes of the world, starting numerous insurrections. It didn't take long for the two pillars of this movement to become three, as Dragon and Ivankov recruited Kuma to their cause. This organization would adopt a new name, one that echoed throughout the world: the Revolutionary Army. That's so dope. That is so dope. Hee-haw, count me in too. So Guinea did join, which makes a lot of sense. I am going to have to spend some time looking at the back of this panel to look at some of these dudes and see if there's any cool connections, because I don't really recognize any of them off rip. But that doesn't mean a whole lot, because I don't know if we know that many. All right, anyways. We're still lacking funds. So this is... when was this? This was 22 years ago, right? Let me double check. I know I got more to read. I'm sorry, I'm taking a while. It was 22 years ago. That's when Dragon met Vegapunk. That's the same year, I'm pretty sure. So when he says we're still lacking funds, it's connecting to that, I presume. For now, we must act like mercenaries, supporting those who already have a will to topple their monarchs, fueling their rebellious spirits. Basically what Bello Betty's fruit is, I think. All their recruits get weapons training drilled into them. I want us to grow into a boundless army, spread throughout the world. Dragon cooking. This is why Dragon's the most wanted man right here. Like, literally, not only does he have a whole army trying to take over the world, his whole thing is, let's influence everyone else to do that. Let's influence everyone else to have the same goal we have. Which, like, that's bad news for the government. So I like that. Where did you learn about weapons, Dragon-san? I spent some time with the Navy. Unfortunately, I found no justice there. A lot of those Navy, Dragon Garp connection theories, there's a lot of those. A lot of those just went way up. That's crazy. That's awesome. Marine or revolutionary, he's a man determined to help others. You can rely on me, Dragon. You won't regret joining us. Well, look who's back. I'll be coming home every now and then. I worry about you all. You're so sweet, Kumachi. And thus, another 8 years would pass. The sun would continue to rise and set like normal. Until 14 years ago, a certain kingdom. So Bonnie would have been alive at this point. You look excited, Guinea-san. It's that obvious? Can you blame me, though? We're so close to the day where we get to link up with Kumachi's squadron. I'm so happy I can hardly breathe. I love this design in general. Like that, the bone, that's dope. That is really dope. I love that. Captain of the Revolutionary Army's Eastern Forces. So it says captain. I think they use the word commander for everyone else. I don't know if that's a big deal. It might be the same. But isn't there's another Eastern one. I can't remember who. Unless, again, she's not like the commander. I don't know. This is interesting. So she was one of the top people, though. Where was I at? Okay, Captain Kuma, that lucky dog. He's won the heart of the lady we all admire. Huh? You creeps admire me? Gross. Your words sting. Okay. So, whatever. Revolutionary Army Headquarters, Baltigo. Dragonsan. Guinea's been captured? The enemy took us by surprise. Please forgive us. I have no idea where this is going. I gotta be honest. I have no idea. I feel like there's gotta be some event or something in the One Piece world that ties to this that we already know of or something. When was this? 14 years ago? Maybe you guys probably already know. You guys have been on this for a while, but I feel like this is going to connect to something important. It's got to be something important. She's also sitting on an ammo box, which is cool. Okay. Wow. I love the flashback for Kuma. It's amazing. Also, this is an interesting flag that they have. It's like not the current logo. It's a much different one. Interesting. It's like a sword turned to its side. And this is also the same panel where he talks about spending some time with the Navy, and we know that like the secret organization, well, not that secret, but in the Navy is SWORD. I don't know if there's a connection there. I don't know. There's a lot going on, I think. All right, let me get to some of these super chats real quick. I saw a few of you supporting throughout the stream. Let me get down there. Let's see. I think I saw. Okay, Mr. Bushido. The one I have not seen is Guinea. I think looks and acts like 3 female Vegapunk clones. Yeah, I think like those are clones of Vegapunk, or they're supposed to be. So I think because we also know Atlas can like take off their face and like make a new face. So I think Vegapunk just more so used Guinea's design, maybe because he's like so familiar with her for the other ones, as opposed to her like biologically being involved, because they're supposed to be clones of him, right? Like different parts of him only. So like it would be weird if they weren't clones of him. They're, I don't even know what you would like I don't even know, a test tube baby kind of thing where like he mixed them together. You know, I don't know. So I think he's taking inspiration. That's my guess, more than anything. Let's see, Tosmorn, I answered that one. Kuma, super goated. Appreciate you, bro. Tosmorn, I don't know if you're still doing streams or not, but Tosmorn has been doing streams recently, so go check him out. Been doing theory reviews, but I don't know if you're still doing it. I know it was like a month ago, I think, the last one, but if you're still doing them, everyone, definitely go check him out for sure. He's reviewed a few of mine, too. Anthony, with the $5 super chat. Kuma will 100% die on Egghead, I agree, when he arrives in an emotional moment. I hope the Straw Hats have a moment of silence like on Saba Odi post time skip. Yes, I would love that, and actually tying that in like a maybe like a bigger way too, because I totally agree with everything you just said. You know how like it's okay, I think one option, because we already saw Kuma get half of his face blown off, so I think one option is it could be kind of like an Ace situation. You know, Kuma steps in front of an attack or something that saves everyone, and that's how he dies, is like one more selfless thing. Definitely, I think that's something he could do. But I could also see a thing where, like, maybe he does that, but through some way or another, the crew still has his body, because it'd be like a robot body. Excuse me. So, the thing I'm getting at is I would like it if they did everything you just said, but then also maybe they give him some kind of, like, legit funeral, or even like a Viking funeral kind of thing, because like he's a robot at this point, so I don't know if he's just gonna like become a bunch of different pieces, if you'll actually have a, you know, like a grave, like a normal like one to be buried in. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I would love for some kind of cool moment, maybe like the Mary a little bit, but like where they say goodbye to Kuma in a final thing, because he deserves that for being, you know, so selfless and stuff. But Oda being as savage as he is, I could see Kuma dying in a, because like even Whitebeard and Ace, they got to go bury them, you know what I'm saying? So I would love for Kuma's body to end up with the crew and there's like that big moment, something like that. But again, his body might just like explode and there be no body to even look at, so I don't know. But I would love that. I totally agree with you. He is dying. It's sad to say, but he's dying. 3-Day with the $5 super chat. One of the absolute biggest goats in the community. Think maybe Kuma volunteered to become a cyborg because of all the pain he absorbed, so his real body wouldn't feel it anymore. Some pain is chronic. I love that. I love that a lot. Like maybe he volunteered to start getting cyborg parts because of that, because it's like, hey, I've taken pain from like 50,000 old people's backs, my back is cooked, can you fix it? That actually makes a lot of sense. And then maybe he, like, over time, through all these injuries and all these, like, you know, improvements, he was like almost entirely cyborg. And then maybe at that point, that's when Saturn, because we saw like a little bit of dialogue with Bonnie when Bonnie first attacked Saturn, then maybe that's where the line where it's like, make him full cyborg, make him lose consciousness, whatever. Like, it could be like he got so far along, it's like, it was just like a, almost like you have to turn a switch at that point because he's so much like a cyborg or something. I like that a lot. That's just like a cool, that's like a typical Oda way to like make something feel more than just a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just that Kuma became a robot and there's all, you know, now he has these other abilities or whatever, but like, no, like he actually became a robot because of his personality, like a legitimate physical reason. I love that. That's definitely an Oda thing to do. Young Usopp with the $2 super chat. Another GOAT that everyone needs to go check out. I appreciate you, bro. You just dropped a theory video last week. Like the stream and share. Let's get Dax to 50K. I appreciate you, bro. We are almost at 50K, so if you guys have not subscribed yet, that would be amazing. I would appreciate that. I think we're like 4K away or something like that. We are on pace to still get that before the end of the year, which was my goal, so that's amazing. So, appreciate you, Young Usopp. Thank you very much. And yes, like the stream if you have not already, because not only does it help more people find the stream now, whenever this becomes a VOD afterward, it helps it get recommended to more people if it has more likes. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. Bean Boy, being a member for 10 months, or celebrating being a member for 10 months. I appreciate you, Bean Boy. You're almost at a year, too. That's amazing. Dragon has to be the OG Kobe/Helmeppo. I love that. I love that idea. And so Dragon's what, 55 years old? I want to check something real quick. So he's 55. And like, so he's 55, Aokiji's like 49, so he's like a little bit older than like the old admirals, I think. So that would be a cool connection if like, well, he's like 6 years old. That's like a decent amount. I don't know. I'm just thinking it'd be a cool way for him to maybe, like the Marines thought Dragon was going to be the next big thing, but maybe he had an Ohara incident type thing where he's like, I'm out, like I'm completely done. And then Aokiji took a different path, and like and then Kobe's going to take a different path. I would just like to see them all be similar, but they all took it differently because they have different personalities or senses of justice. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. I definitely agree, 100%. And then Mr. Bushido with the €5 super chat. I appreciate you again, man. Thank you for being so generous. I believe this confirms Bonnie is not Ginny's daughter. Kuma didn't want to pass Jeans, and we skipped right past her birth. P.S. Sorbet is like Grey Terminal. The connection with Sorbet and Grey Terminal is very interesting. Like a section of the island being sanctioned off. There's a lot of we do this in real life too, by the way. You know, there's a reason why lower income people live near, you know, polluted areas and stuff in the real world. You know, like which is like this is a little bit different. This is almost like gerrymandering to a degree, although a little bit different. So, but anyways, yeah, I like that connection. Like, there's definitely the government that like they're doing this multiple times, and maybe to a degree, the Celestial Dragons view the whole world that way. Like we only want these kingdoms that are paying the tribute. We're just gonna delete everyone else, and we're just gonna keep doing this. Like that's pretty much what they do, right? So I like that connection. And then, but you also said, I believe this confirms Bonnie is not Ginny's daughter. Well, it's definitely not a confirmation. It's definitely not a confirmation either way, that's for sure. Because they did jump right over her birth year, kind of. So hold on, let me check. How old is she exactly? She's 24 after the 2-year time skip. Okay, so she's 24 currently. So she would have been born back here, right? But so, yeah, so 1 year after this discussion, I feel, yeah, it's definitely not confirmation. I actually might even read between this even more and say they did have a kid, and it's just Kuma being... Oda just wanted to see Kuma be selfless, you know what I mean? Because even down here it says, like, let me see. Like, Captain Kuma's won the heart of the lady we admire. It's like their loving connection is still there, like the more than friends connection. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we could, Oda's gonna talk about that later. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason he didn't want to show us yet, for sure. There's a reason. We'll see what it is. Let's see the next one. Let me pull up. Adam Murray, my guy. I heard you got the cards. I saw the email. I'm glad about that. I know this is from the last chapter, but is there a chance that the crown jewel of Hachinosu is actually the clown jewel? RL can be interchangeable. Are you talking about it being buggy or whatever? I feel like, personally, it's like 99% confirmed that it's either Kaido's fruit or all of the devil fruits in general, based off the dialogue. I love the Buggy ideas, and obviously Buggy ties to Captain John and all that, so there's a lot of cool connections, but we don't even know when the Roger Pirates got Buggy. Like, we don't even know if it's after God Valley, so it's kind of like... And there's also an element to this, I think, where Roger said, like, do you know how I felt for the past year? And God Valley was 38 years ago, and he went to Lodestar 39 years ago, so that just tells me that the reason Roger's going there is, like, there's something important to poneglyph reading or, like, the world at large. And, like, not that Buggy maybe couldn't be that important, but I just feel like if it was Buggy, you know, Buggy's probably had a red nose since he was born. He probably has had blue hair since he was born. If we use, like, the Shanks example, he had, you know, the baby has a little bit of hair. So I just feel like it'd be really weird for Buggy to not be getting chased perpetually for the rest of the story. That's kind of my big gripe with it is... Like, the Rocks Pirates would have seen Buggy for a year, or anyone who went to God Valley if it was Buggy. They would have seen him, you know? Like, they would have known he has a red nose and all that. I just feel like it's kind of the same thing with the hat and Marijois. I have a similar gripe with that idea because, like, is it possible? Yes. But then it's like, if the crown jewel that the Rocks Pirates bothered going to God Valley for was a straw hat like Luffy's, they had to have mentioned it by now. Like, there's no way Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, etc. wouldn't have said it. They only mentioned the straw hat in regards to Roger or Shanks. They never mention it in regards to, oh, that big thing we did however long ago. So, and like I said, based off the context of the chapter, I think it's definitely the devil fruits. Or, like, Kaido's fruit is definitely one of them, or they mean all the fruits in general. And I didn't mention this in the review, but, like, maybe the biggest piece of evidence for me about that is we all know how closely Rocks ties to Blackbeard, right? Like, Blackbeard is the next coming of Rocks, kind of. He inherited his will. What does Blackbeard do? Gets devil fruits, right? Gets a ton of devil fruits. His crew has a bunch. He has multiple. He wanted to go get boas, and we don't even know how he was going to use that. He talked about, like, to Law, like, should I sell your fruit? Should I use it? What should I do? So, like, he's all about fruits. So for Rocks and the Rocks Pirates to have a bunch of devil fruits as the crown jewel, or even one devil fruit in particular, I feel like that makes way too much sense. You know, that's another angle to it. But I appreciate you, Adam. My bad, I can't speak today. Tosmore, my go with the $20. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Vegapunk is changing and letting Kuma pass on his will to Bonnie. His will to Bonnie. Bonnie is Ginny and Kuma's kid, but made by Vegapunk for Kuma. Distorted timeline made Bonnie look like Kuma, because this timeline she isn't a Buccaneer. Now that is a really, really interesting idea. Because it's distorted timeline, and then she looks like a Buccaneer, so maybe she doesn't have Buccaneer blood in her. Okay, so I love what you're saying now that I think about it even more. So, like, Bonnie is their kid, but maybe Kuma had Vegapunk go to lengths to not let Bonnie have Buccaneer blood in her. Like, it's still Kuma, but the Buccaneer part is removed, I think is what you're getting at. I love that, because then the distorted timeline, like, not the one we're in, is what that would mean, to me at least, then she looks like a Buccaneer. That is a great point, Tosborn. That is an excellent point, my guy. I love that. I love that a lot. Now, the only thing I guess is, would Kuma have a connection to Vegapunk back then? That's the only thing, because he didn't meet Dragon till after Bonnie should have been born. So I don't know how that would connect. I don't know, but I love that idea though. Regardless, I like where your head's at, man. I don't know why my mouse just stopped working. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. I'm just gonna put that in this folder. I'm just saving that comment. I'm gonna talk about that in the review for sure. I like that. I like that a lot, man. I'm with that. Something like that. Like, with the Vegapunk part, I don't know, but something like that. Sam Fisher with the $5 super chat. I think Bonnie is a clone of Guinea that was made for Kuma in exchange for becoming a pacifista. So Bonnie may only be 5 or 10, but has accelerated aging. Yeah, the accelerated aging part is tough for me because, like, if we accept that she's not really 24 and she's a different age but has manually changed her age somehow, either with her fruit or Vegapunk knows something, whatever it is, then, like, that opens up a whole can of worms on, like, the timing of everything, because it could be, like, whenever. Because I know, like, there's been a couple mentions of, like, Bonnie being a little girl, like, she's younger. Whenever we first saw her out of the Warm Eddy, she was a little girl, like, she looked like she was, like, 8 or something. So I definitely get that. I feel like the main thing, though, is, I don't know, like, Oda could retcon the age, but I guess until otherwise stated, I feel like we should stick with the age as accurate. Like, it's not that what you said can't happen, it's more just like, once it does, it could be anything. So I'm gonna hope it's not that until otherwise stated, but it's definitely possible. Absolutely. Like, maybe the past user of Bonnie's fruit, awakened, and somehow that is able to carry into the next, not that like the power directly carries in, but Vegapunk doing his own wizardry was able to use that on Bonnie to, like, permanently change her age or something. I don't really know. Or maybe she, like, grew in a vat for a period of time, so she accelerated her growth for the first X amount of years of her life. So it's kind of like Momo, which would be a really cool connection, because Toki's fruit, because Toki sent Momo forward, Shinobu aged up Momo physically but not mentally, and then for Bonnie to also be aged up, but maybe, like, she was, like, in a test tube thing, for maybe, like, 2 years, but it equaled out to, like, 10 years, so, like, the timeline's a little weird. That kind of thing I can kind of see, I think. Something like that. That would make sense. Trevor super chatted $5. I want to draw Guinea so bad. 37-year-old revolutionary hacker gunner chomping on a ham bone. Go to top 5. I love that. What a cool design, right? Like, that's like a design that's, like, fitting of somebody who's as important as Bonnie's mom. You know what I mean? Because Bonnie's obviously proving to be, like, insanely important. I mean, she just stabbed Saturn, which, like, automatically, I mean, she hurt the Gorosei. She was the first one to hurt a Gorosei in the story. I don't know if he actually got hurt, but you know what I mean? He was bleeding. But so it's just cool. And then also for Kuma's wife or baby mom, whatever it is, it's just, like, such a cool design, super fitting. I also love how they're highlighting how everyone loves her and, like, is fawning over her, but Kuma has her locked up. I just love that. The Riz from Kuma, the not purposeful Riz. Like, he's not even trying to, but he just has her locked up. I love that. Like, he's just such a good dude. It's just like, I love it. I love it. James Benson super chatted $5. Bonnie's age is presumed. I think they get married after she is rescued and Bonnie is born later, showing she really is a little kid like Vegapunk and Saturn. It's tough because Oda gave us her age in a Viver card, so, like, yeah, he could be lying about it, but it's like, that's accurate for 99.99% of cases, or, like, well, 100% except maybe this one. So it's really tough. I think it's really tough, the age thing. It could not be accurate, but I would say the one thing, though, is, like, for her to, like, if she was born more recently than 24 years ago, I don't think it can be her fruit that aged her up, because, like, she'd be using it constantly at that point, which, like, It is possible. It's just that'd be really weird, I guess is all I'm saying. It's just like a weird situation because like her powers are temporary, and like you would think like when she sleeps she would revert, or at least she should. I don't know. There's just I guess there's just a lot of plot holes. Not that it's impossible, of course. It could definitely happen. Um, but I mean, if they marry after she gets rescued, and it's like a Kuma was like so worried about it that he's like, okay, yeah, let's have a kid. Like, I don't want to, I'm scared of losing you now and whatever. Like, maybe we can have a kid and you stop doing this. You just take care of the kid or something. Some kind of connection. But then the age up factor, like Vegapunk help, that would kind of make sense because he's already part of the Revolutionary Army. The Vegapunk connection is what makes this tough because we know he met Vegapunk after Bonnie was supposed to be born. So it's like, I don't know. Oda made this even tougher this chapter, I feel like. Baby Pluton, Baby Mole, my guy, with a $10 super chat. I think that Kuma used his power before Ginny's death and split Ginny into Vegapunk's satellites, since all their personalities have been somewhat shown with Ginny. Baby Mole Gang, I appreciate you. It's so tough because they wouldn't be Vegapunk's clones then. Like they even call the clones Vegapunk. Like they don't even differ the names out very often. And so, and like they're also geniuses, which like not to discount Ginny's probable intelligence, but like Vegapunk's obviously a whole nother level. So I'm just thinking those clones, like why would Vegapunk still call them himself? Because like they wouldn't be himself. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have another person involved. So I guess maybe it's just semantics on my part, but when Vegapunk says they're clones and they call themselves Vegapunk, to me, that's like way too overt of like they're me. They're not, because if they were a combination of two people, they would almost be like kids or, close to that. But like I said, I think he definitely took Ginny's design and put it into the Vegapunks. Maybe because he didn't have a lot of other good ideas. I have no idea. And like we have seen her personality in the different satellites, but like the satellites are supposed to be different parts of Vegapunk. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, we saw like York eating a bunch, which is like what Ginny does a lot, but like that was the desire part of Vegapunk. You know what so I have a hard time. I honestly don't know. Oda introduced a lot of clone talk very recently, and I think also with like Weevil being relevant, we don't understand really how that works as far as him being like a child of Whitebeard's or whatever, and Stussy obviously being a clone. There's a lot of like weird, what is a clone? Is a clone a duplicated person? Because like I guess the Seraphim, they are clones, but they're also not clones, because it's like let's take S-Hawk for example. Yes, it's Mihawk and has Mihawk's lineage factor, but there's also Lunarians, which isn't Mihawk's. But then I guess, going back to the Vegapunk example, why would Vegapunk want to do that? Because it might make them worse? I don't know, but that would be a cool connection to York, potentially. I don't know, there's a lot of cool ways to think about that. But I'm going with the satellites are just Vegapunk, and he just took the design. That's me. Terrible TJ with the $5 super chat. The O2 mark on the box, again, he's sitting on the last page, makes me think of Lilith, the Vegapunk mark with O2, kind of similar too, in my opinion. It's, I don't know, it's tough. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because a lot of these are similar, so sorry if it's the same response over and over. A lot of you guys are on this train. I don't know. Because like the O2 thing, it could be, but it's also just like she looks like the other Vegapunks already. And if Oda puts any number that is 6 or less, we're gonna make that connection. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, which like, why did he put 2? Why he didn't have to put 2? I guess I just don't know how much I buy into those connections. It's Oda's doing something. I just don't know what it is what I'm getting at. I don't know. Because I don't think Ginny is, like, overly intelligent. Like, I'm sure she's smart, but I don't think she's, like, the type Vegapunk wants to... Because, like he said, there's no competent engineers and stuff. So, like, what's the advantage of doing this? And then maybe it could be like, oh, well, he kept her alive or something. But to me, I'm like, that's a little I don't know if sadistic's the right word, but a little weird if it's like Kuma's like, I don't want to lose her, just split her amongst these things that aren't anything like her. Now, can the other Vegapunk clones combine to bring her back or something? That would be really crazy. Then that would make it worth it. That would make it make sense. I guess I just don't... For Guinea to actually be a part of those would be just weird, I guess, right? Unless there's something I'm not seeing. Like, for Kuma, that'd be hella awkward to, like, have his dead or dying wife split, you know, into new people. Like, I'd be like, I can't look at these things. You know, like, why do that? So, I don't know. But Guinea, I think, if I had to pick something, I think, like, Guinea dying, but having her personality pushed forward, or some part of her pushed forward into Bonnie to, like, make that next human kind of makes sense. But even then, like, Kuma, I don't know, because, like, again, that also ties into, like, Kuma calls Bonnie his daughter and is, like, you know, happy about it, and I'm just thinking, if that's actually his wife, that's, like, really weird. Like, that, I keep going back to that. I keep going back to, like, Kuma's gonna be a really weird guy if he wanted to have his dead wife put into different things. Like, I get not wanting her to die, but to have her put into new things is just... it'd be one thing if she was a robot, you know, like Kuma. Like, if she's put into a cyborg body like him, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it can't be. I feel like it's not going to be that. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see here. Tosmore with the $50 super chat. Tosmore, my guy. Thank you so much. You're hella generous, man. Thank you. Like I said, everyone, go check out Tosmore's channel. He's doing theory reviews. Again, I don't know if you're still doing that, Tosmore, if you're moving over to other stuff, but I like the theory reviews, so I'm going to mention those because I liked them. Not just because you did my videos. You gave really good feedback on my videos, though. But everyone, go check him out. Question: if Kuma can smack people away for 3 days and 3 nights, would his awakening maybe allow him to send people 200 years, 800 years? What about instead of pushing pain out of people, he just pushes the pain out of time, like it didn't happen? Now, let me think about this for a second. So I guess the one thing I want to touch on first is the 3 days and 3 nights, because I always thought that's how it always worked, because that is how it was described to us in Sabaody. However, whenever we go to Egghead, Kuma or S-Bear used presumably the Paw powers through green blood, presumably, and he was able to send them all to Egghead like instantly. Like, it wasn't 3 days, like it was like a short gap. So going back to the 3 days and 3 nights, I don't know how serious that is. Like genuinely, I always thought it was super serious, but Egghead seems to have challenged that. Like, if you're super close, it's not going to take that long. But now, building off of that, I mean, all you got to do is send the person around the world over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the speed you're moving ties to the amount of time that goes by. Like, if you, if you're near a black hole, like, if you have an identical twin, one goes near the black hole and you stay on Earth, and five Earth years goes by. I'm just picking random numbers. I don't know what the actual equation is, but and that, like, 5 Earth years goes by for the one that's on Earth. The one that went around the black hole for 5 Earth years, quote unquote, they don't age as much as the one on Earth. So using that same kind of logic, Kuma could send someone so fast if there is, like, if it's the awakening or whatever, or maybe he just has to get better with the fruit, because, like, you know, Luffy had gears leading up to Gear 5th and Awakening, right? So maybe Kuma has levels to it. He could just send someone so fast that, like, their time moves slower than everyone else. Now, that's a little bit of a stretch, but that does actually make sense, because he does send people around the planet, which is, like, it is, like, a weird connection there. But then you also mentioned, what about instead of pushing pain out of people, he just pushes the pain out of time like it didn't happen? That part is tough for me, because I guess, like, how would he do it? Like, I'm just trying to imagine, like, what would he put his hand on to push out, you know? Because, like, for pain, yes, it's intangible, but he's able to go to the person's body, which is the object feeling the pain, you know what I mean? He's able to push it out. Which I guess, you know what? I like, okay, now we're cooking a little bit. Now we're cooking, because So Paramecia awakenings let you affect the environment, right? So like with a pawpaw power, that's like really weird. It's like that one's a little bit harder to imagine, but the first thing that pops off or comes in my head is, well, he's able to touch tangible things and push out intangible things from tangible things, like push out pain from a body, right? Well, what if he can start touching intangible things with his awakening, right? So we're talking about time, for example. Could he push, like, I mean, time from a lot of perspectives could be also viewed as memories, which we already know he can push out. So if he awakens, who knows where that takes it? You know what I'm saying? Now, awakenings also, you know, like when they affect the environment, it's like he would make the whole environment a paw or something, which like that alone, I don't even know. I don't even know how that would work. I have no idea. I don't know. I like where your head's at, Tosmore. We might talk about this in the chat or something after this. You know, the Discord chat. Because I like the touching intangibility instead of pushing intangibility out of tangible. I like that idea in general. I love that. Toeni Chulo, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I very much apologize. Thank you though for the $5 super chat. We saw Bonnie's real age in chapter 1060 as a oh wait, I just moved it. Oops. As a child coming out of seawater when her devil fruit abilities had no effect. So the thing with that is water doesn't like cancel your power, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, Luffy was still rubber when he was underwater. It didn't totally negate it. So like if she had herself as a certain age, and again, maybe she used like awakening, or the past user used awake. I don't know exactly how this all would work, but like I guess I don't know how her body is the way it is or what her true age is, but it shouldn't be that if she gets submerged in water, she immediately reverts. At least, like, every power is going to be a little bit different, but like whenever Brook goes in the water, he doesn't die. You know what I'm saying? Like, his powers don't disappear because of that. Like, they're still active. He just can't do anything. He like literally can't move. He can't use the powers again. Like, he can't activate them again. But if there's like a passive layer to it, which, like, again, I don't know how if Bonnie is young, I don't know how passive that is or whatever, what the rules are, but based off what we've seen, I don't think it would cancel her powers, or it shouldn't. If it did, that would be like kind of a new spin on it that we have. It'd be counter to what we've seen, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I'm not exactly sure. Terrible TJ, again, my goat with the $5 super chat. Vegapunk's brain was separated into the satellites, but a body should be needed to make York or Lilith, you know? Am I wrong? Well, he made the Seraphim bodies somehow, right? I presume in a vat. Well, actually, we saw that he makes organs separately too, so I don't know if that's part of it. He can like make like a new heart, stomach, spleen, whatever. So given that we know he can make body parts and he's made other clones in the Seraphim from scratch, it seems like, I don't think he really needs another body. You know, I think he can just make them. Also Atlas, based off what we saw with Atlas like isn't even human. It's like Atlas is like a machine, because Atlas got their face destroyed and just put a new one on, like they're like a robot. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if they're like that human. I don't know. You know, we're using the term clone loosely, like me included. I don't really know, because in my experience, clone is like duplicating the same thing. But it seems like we're getting some changes here with like these clones. So I don't know exactly. But I don't think, like, I think he can just make a body from scratch, though, as far as that goes. And then Saran Wrap used 69 bits. Very nice over on Twitch. I appreciate you. No one is talking about her connection to the East Blue Sea being the Eastern Captain. I wonder if there's any connection here for Luffy. I think he would be 5. Yeah, he would be 5. That is interesting. And like Eastern Forces, Dragon always looks east too, right? So that's a cool connection there, I think. I haven't... Here, who's the current captain of the Eastern Force? I gotta look this up. I gotta figure out. I gotta get my stuff straight. Okay, so they're called commanders later. The ones that we're used to, like Karasu, Bello Betty, Morley, and Lindbergh. Those are commanders. So I don't know if they're using captain and commander interchangeably. Like, they would be different things, like, you know, like in the Marines, or especially like on a pirate crew. The captain's above commander in a pirate crew, technically, with the way we use them. So I don't know, but I guess the point I'm getting at is the Eastern one is Bello Betty, today, the commander. And so that's another connection here, kind of interestingly, is just... because, like, the deputy commander is Ahuru, another female character. And then you got Guinea here, being the captain of the Eastern Forces. I don't know if that's anything, but I don't know. I don't know what to really think about that. Like... what would the connections be? So Luffy was 5. And how old was he when he met Ace? Was 8? 7? I can't remember. Uh, 7. Looks like he was 7. So this was 2 years before Luffy met Shanks and stuff. I'm trying to think, was there something in the Ace or the ASL flashback that would tie to this? Well, she is the captain of the East, but do we know where she was when this happened? Because, like, we saw Bello Betty in Valusia, which is in the Grand Line, so clearly, like, the Eastern forces don't stay put in the East all the time. And it also says a certain kingdom. So we got to look in the background. I'm going to do this for the review. That'll be something else. A certain kingdom. I see some palm trees. That, off the top of my head, that kind of looks like Sorbet. Like it has the same trees. I don't know. That's an interesting little tidbit right there. I'm not sure. I know, Saran Wrap. We'll probably talk about this too after the stream over in the Discord, because I don't know, that there's like the palm tree is identical to Sorbet's, and even the structures look identical to Sorbet's. But why would Oda just not tell us it's a certain kingdom? Although I guess maybe this is where Kuma becomes the tyrant officially. I don't know. There's a lot of cool connections there, I think. Mr. Bushido super chatted again. I appreciate you, bro. 2 euros. Akainu took Guinea, also Dragon's Tattoo. Oh, Akainu taking her. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea to tie back to the Bonnie stuff. I like that. I like that connection. I don't know if that's it, but I like it. And Dragon's Tattoo. So he has the tattoo here. Is your point that he doesn't have it here? Oh, yeah. Maybe that is. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but that's what I took from it. So in those 8 years, he got the tattoo. What? Well, he got it. Did he have it in the Ohara thing? Because that was also 22 years ago. He didn't have it at Ohara either. Okay, just want to double check. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. A lot of little Oda's making sure we know our stuff in this chapter, man. This is crazy. Let me pull up this again. Oh, I closed something I wasn't supposed to close. Oh well. Oh well. I closed the chapter, but that's okay. We're gonna pull it back up. And then Streamlabs, window capture. Very strange. Well, the chapter might just be gone for the rest of this stream. It does not want to pop up. That's normally how it works. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's back. Never mind. I lied. Yeah, the tattoo thing's interesting. I wonder what happened in that 8-year span that made him get that tattoo. Between 22 and 14 years ago, well after his Marine time. We learned a lot of stuff. Here's what I'm going to say, though. I'm going to say this real quick before I read the rest of these super chats, because I do need to go here in a few minutes, because my guy Kev DOG streams in 7 minutes, so I'm going to get through these. But, like, Dragon is 100% showing up in the next like 2 chapters in Egghead. I think, you know, Randy's math piece video outlined why this is going to happen. I mean, we're almost at the 1,000 chapter anniversary of Dragon being revealed. I feel like with all the revolutionary stuff, the Kuma stuff, it makes sense to have Dragon there. But now that Oda, as we're approaching the 1,000 chapter anniversary mark, now we're getting Dragon backstory. We're learning he was part of the Marines. We're seeing like kind of some of the timeline of when things happened and how we got the group together. We're seeing how it elevated from freedom fighters to Revolutionary Army. There's a 100% chance, in my opinion, that Dragon is showing up by 1100, probably the end of 1099, if not 1100. So this was 1097, so 1098 will probably finish the flashback up. 1099 will probably go back to Egghead, and then at the end of that, or at 1100, we're getting Dragon. I'm like 100%. There's not even a debate. I mean, I guess there is until it happens, but in my mind, there's not a debate. It has to happen. Let's see. Tosmorn, again, my goat, with the $5 super chat. Reality is perception. Perception is memory. Memory is time. And time is reality. Yeah, I like the way you put that, because also all those things are intangible. Now, maybe memory is like a little tangible if you want to get really technical, because like the synapses in your brain are like a biological process. You know what I mean? There is like a physicality to it. But you know what I mean? Most of those are... you know, intangible things. So I like that, but going back to that, like, especially the perception is memory part, I think in One Piece in general, that's what we see a lot of, where the, like what Doflamingo said, the winners choose the justice or the history or whatever, right? They get to decide what justice is. Like even in this chapter, we saw them talking like, well, if we make the Southerners out as the bad guys now, over time they'll grow to spite them, and then, you know, it'll become like a natural thing. Like, they know how the perception changes in a society when you just make this thing. Like, and I don't want to get into the weeds of it today, but I'm just saying, you know, in this time and age, we got a lot of issues around the world and a lot of issues in politics that people disagree on and stuff, and a lot of that is perception, because people in positions of power know they need to skew our perception. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to even guide you guys down any paths, just saying that happens, because it absolutely does. Everyone knows that perception is everything, and your perception of things is going to affect your memory of things, and over time that's going to affect your feelings and behavior and actions on things, and that is how you get slow moving big issues in the world, is, you know, that happening. So it's sad, but you're absolutely right. And tying it back to Kuma, though, which I know was the main point of what you were saying. Sorry. Tying it back to Kuma, it would be cool if Kuma can start messing with some of these things even more with his pawpaw fruit, like we said earlier, messing with intangibility, or touching the intangible even more than he already does. I'd like that. Alex Vasquez, super chatted $2. I appreciate you. Notice the bandana around Dragon's left leg. Let me go back and look at this. Okay. And that bandana is kind of similar to his tattoo also. It's very similar. It's like the same thing. Almost the same thing, but just scrunched together, I guess you could say. Like, very similar. What does that mean? I mean, there's probably a lot of videos where people try to look for that, and I don't know where to, I don't know. There's something there, though, that's for sure. I like that. Tosmorn. Again, man, Tosmorn, thank you so much for being so generous, bro. I really appreciate that. Everyone, again, go check out my guy if you haven't already. Yarouge fruit is the body of liberation. Ooh, complements Kuma's abilities. Okay, Tosmorn, you're cooking. Oh, I'm stretching now. I'm sad that we gotta end the stream in a few minutes, but hold on. I like this a lot. Oh, especially because I'm cooking a Yarouge video right now. Like, it's gonna be out next weekend, like not this coming weekend, but the one after, probably like that Monday, because that'll be a break week, because there was no break this week, which is amazing. So next break week, there will be a Yarouge video. I love that, because he takes damage and gets stronger for it. I like that a lot. I'm gonna be talking about that probably in different contexts now that we got this Kuma stuff. I talked about, like, I already have the script mostly done. Talked about his fruit a lot. I didn't think about that. Because we don't know his fruit either. Kind of like Bonnie, how Bonnie's fruit name was just revealed in SBS 107. What was like the year fruit or age fruit, whatever it is. The Toshi no Mi, I think it, because I remember it being very close to Toki, but not Toki. But and so Rouge hasn't been revealed yet either, is what I was getting at. So it's very similar to Bonnie. Rouge also is the only supernova that hasn't been relevant really in any way. Like, we've seen him, but he hasn't been a part of an arc yet, like a main part. So I can't wait. That's a really good thought, Tosmorn. Mr. Bushido with the €2 super chat. Carrot showing up soon. Let's go. Hey, like I said, you're going to get your flowers when it happens, but if it doesn't happen, I still am waiting on word what's going to happen. I need to know. Where my flower? I want to see flowers at my doorstep, Bushido. If Carrot doesn't show up. What was your chapter number? 1098? Wasn't that it? So we have next chapter. If it's not, right? I think so. If it's not next chapter, you're cooked. We're going to see. And then Lord Vegeta, Mr. Ragnar, my goat, being a member for 7 months. I didn't know you were a member for that long, bro. Thank you so much. Kuma has always been misunderstood until this arc. Totally agreed. And now, like I said, I want to do a Kuma analysis video because now that we've seen, and I'm going to wait till Egghead's over, till he dies probably. Because now that we have seen his backstory, and we're going to see more of it, I presume, this puts everything in new context. Like, everything. Like, the Sop, like, protecting the Sunny, sending everyone away. Like, he has the Hands of Liberation, and he sent Joy Boy's crew, essentially, out of harm's way around the world to get stronger. Like, even going back to Thriller Bark with Moria, and just, oh, man, there's so many cool little things. So, yeah, I agree. Kuma, if not misunderstood, Kuma has been slept on until this arc, I would say. And it's not happening anymore. He's getting his flowers. Actually, Bushido, I don't want the flowers. If Carrot doesn't show up in 1098, send the flowers to Kuma. I don't want them. Send them to Kuma or his voice actor, whichever you want to do. But all right, guys, that's it for this stream. Thank you guys so much for being as generous and awesome as you guys always are. Amazing thoughts this week, as usual. Hell of a chapter. I give this chapter, like, I feel bad because it's a great chapter, but I gotta go like 8.5, 9 out of 10. Not because it's bad, it's just because Oda sets the bar every single week, and this one was objectively amazing. But I just know I can't use a 10 here because I know he's gonna do something else crazy. But amazing chapter, amazing. I loved it. Everyone, I just want to say stay here because Kev DOG is going live right after this, and this will redirect you to his stream. So just stay right where you're at. It'll do it automatically. And if it doesn't do it after a minute or two, if you look, there should be like a thing that pops up like, everyone's going to Kev's stream, join here. Which, like, it does do it automatically, but it just takes a while. So maybe click that, you know, if you need to. So we're heading over to Kev's. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much as always. I'm going to see you guys at least next week for a chapter, if not some kind of collab this weekend. I want to get back to the collabs, especially now that the room's getting together. But either way, we'll talk about that later. Main thing